Hi everyone, welcome to another chat. For this week, we're in week 5. In week 5, we're going to be reading chapters 9 and 10, and we're going to have quiz number 2. Now, quiz number 2 is going to be 10 multiple choice questions, only covering the information within 9 and 10. Now, for the quiz, it's due on Saturday night. So make sure to focus on the requirements and what I'm looking at with the quiz. Also, you have only one attempt. So people are getting a little bit confused when they're looking at the directions. If you look at the directions, it'll say you can come back and take the quiz at a later time, which is the case. The problem is that people need to focus on. That means when you start the quiz, you have to end it at that point. Okay, so make sure to note that. Okay, so when you start it, the clock is always ticking. So make sure to focus on that clock. And when you start it, you have to end it at that point. I get a lot of questions on that, but I just want to be clear. You can stop it, but the clock's always ticking, okay? So for this week, the quiz is going to be on, let's go over some of the questions. A specific tariff. Now, specific tariffs are looking at goods that have an imported tax on it. You'll notice there's a lot of taxes, but an import tax goes on each imported good that's brought into a country. It's used to gain government revenue. Another question you'll see on the test is looking at, let's say the U.S. places a tariff on wine. Now, let's say that another country that we have that tariff on, they place a high tariff on something U.S. produces. What is that an example of? What is this trade war going on? Why is this making one country doing one thing so the other country forces another thing on it? That's a big deal. That's why GATT was started. General Agreement of Trade and Tariffs Agreements, because what it's looking at is you don't want to keep pushing one tariff on one country and then trying to push a tariff on another, given that they did it to you. So you're trying to lower the amount of tariffs that's brought about in our economy. Now, special interest groups. They always like to take over, promote protectionist policies. That may lead to a decrease in economic welfare. What is that argument about? It's looking at the free trade argument. Why do we not focus on free trade? Why are we always focused on looking at tariffs? How much money that can be gained from tariffs? Another question. What is the optimal tariff? What country will use the optimal tariff? A small country? A large country? Are they going to use a small tariff or a large tariff? So what type of country, size, and the size of the tariff? That's the key to the question that you're looking at. Another question. Trade theory suggests that Japan would gain from a subsidy in the U.S. if they provide grain farmers the subsidy. Now, if you look at this, why would a subsidy help one country compared to a tariff? What are the advantages, disadvantages of a subsidy compared to a tariff? A subsidy will lower the cost of production, but how will it influence an economy? What are some of the implications of that subsidy? Now, next questions, looking at trade liberalization. What is that? Why do a lot of countries evaluate trade liberalization? How does it affect tariffs and subsidies? Another question, inflationary environment and taxes. What will be used to influence, if there's a lot of inflation, what will happen to taxes as well? What will have to happen to ad valorem tariffs if we have inflation? Now, if we're a small country, next question, if we're a small country and we impose a tariff, who's going to suffer a smaller loss? Consumers or producers? Another question. A specific tariff provides home producers more protection. Why does a specific tariff help a home country more? Why do you think it would provide a more specific protection rather than a large tariff? Or a tariff that has a bigger advantage? Why do you think it influences that? Next question. I'm going to give you 4 statements and you figure out which one is a true statement concerning imposition of a tariff on cheese in the U.S. What is the main reason why the U.S. uses tariffs in our economy? So that's what that question is going to be focused on. So again, you have a study guide locating the announcements. I gave you a video analysis to go through the questions. We're looking at chapters 9 and 10. All work is due by Saturday, and if you have any questions, just let me know. But I look forward to working with you.